I am going to yap and none of you can stop me. You can't. You can't stop what's about to happen. Also, you're not allowed to leave if you do. You. And go over your, daily cholesterol. Are we good now? Are we currently live? I don't know what you guys are seeing right now. I don't know how bad the delay is. We're good, okay. I really need to check my internet. Either that or I need to check my PC. It could be either one of them. Actually, how long has it been since I'll worry about that later. Is the stream start screen for you? Okay. It is a good thing all that happened before we switched over. It's Fox time, everybody. Now it's deciding to have problems again. Wait, no, maybe it's fine. Oh God. I don't know why it's been having issues lately. Well, maybe it's not entirely my internet. It could also be. It could also be something on YouTube's end. Big internet is out to get me. It'll probably be fine in the VOD. Maybe. Yeah. I have no idea what's going on there. But what I do know is that I have been having a decent morning. How about you guys? How's everyone doing this morning? Hello, Mr. Fondue. Hello, Iffy. Hello, Free Comet. Hello, nobody. Hello, everyone. Let's hope that this doesn't become a battle with the connection. Everything's fine on your end. Good. Good that you're having a fine morning. Or evening or time of day. No, I don't assume everyone is in them. It's just morning for me, so that's what I say. Like a fair few of you guys are from Europe, right? Happy time zone, everyone. I should probably start saying that. Good time zone, everyone. Whatever your time zone is, it's good. Yeah, I think a very few of you guys are actually from Europe. Some of you are from Canada too. Yeah, I don't know how many of you guys are actually from the US. I know I am. And I can only speak for myself. Also, don't mind me, I have a capybara plushie. And I can't help but mess with it. Have you guys ever seen a capybara? The majestic rodent. I think. Also considered a fish. I don't know, a friend would always tell me about how when explorers first came to America, they justified like eating capybara as them being fish. Very chill, guys, yeah. They are so cool with a lot of things. And cool with a lot of animals too. I think what like made them become super popular was the video from I think a Japanese zoo, right? Where they just gave the capybaras a bunch of oranges. And one put an orange on top of his head. I'd like to see a capybara one day. I don't know if Sniff would like them though. I actually don't know how she is with other pets in general. It's not like we can really afford to have another one to begin with. Isn't capybara from Brazil? Are you willing to go to Brazil? Well, I mean, that's a whole mess for me. Because, I don't want to say too much about the future because, might adversely affect things. But there's just a lot of bureaucracy. And trying to travel out of the country. Well, really out of the reach of my corporate Oprah awards. Is a bit of a pain. Especially during Christmas time. But anyway. Let's not talk about stuff you guys don't care about. All the people you know, I know nothing about Brazil, okay? All I know is that Jetstream Sam is from Brazil and he can double jump. Those are the only things I know about Brazil. Don't ask me anything else. I just realized I forgot to change my calendar. I just looked at it and I was like, wait. It's still on October. I have one of those, desk calendars. You know, the ones that are like little cardboard sheet thingies. Mine is like a series of dogs. Like wearing different outfits. A fitting for every month. Like July. He's wearing America glasses and a little America bandana. What's another good example? April, he has a little egg basket. I think there's a dog treat in there too. So what's everyone been up to lately? Me, you ask. Well, honestly, it's mainly just been work. And work has been killing me lately. I have actually been playing a lot of Monster Hunter Wild. On my free time. Mainly just like trying out new builds. And trying to further optimize my sword and shield and bow armor sets. I know this probably sounds very strange. But I do use 2 weapons. That might be, hard for you guys to believe, might be hard for you guys to digest. The fact that I tailor my builds towards more than 1 weapon usually. I don't want to say like every Siri crafter and builder does this, but whenever I like, look up what sorts of builds people are doing, I always get kind of disappointed, because they usually only focus on specific weapon. Now I'm not saying that's like a bad thing, like I understand why people do that. Because yeah, using only 1 weapon per build is probably more efficient, right? But I kind of just like having multiple weapons, It's why as I've been playing through Wilds, I also try to figure out what's the best matchup, between sword and shield and bow. So far, sword and shield has actually been the dominant choice for me. But bow, I find, really works well against very specific monsters, like the big fishy and banana. Though works very well for those too. I've also been doing a lot of figuring out what bow best scales off of. Now I personally use pierce bows, because that's just what's satisfying to me, I like seeing all the numbers pop up. And I can't really prove if it does more damage than power or close range. But it feels good to me, it feels correct, and I think that's what matters more. So I've been trying to figure out what bow best scales with. Is raw damage, is it critical hits, is it is it elements? Turns out bow best scales with spread. The reason for that is because the majority of damage for bow comes from the spread shots. The moves where you're fanning out the arrows. I found out that's where the majority of the damage comes from. Now, I originally attempted boosting the pierce damage, right? Which did technically work. But when I tried boosting the spread damage, it was way higher. Now that's just like the specific play style I use, right? You don't have to play that way. But I found it's been really working for me. For example, the big fishy 9-star tempered. I managed to get sub 10 minutes. Now I don't know if that's like considered an easier one to fight. I'll be honest, the 9-star tempered monsters haven't really been super hard. Maybe I just haven't thrown myself at the harder ones like, Toothless or I think Steve is one of the harder ones. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I don't think they've really been that hard. I mainly enjoy fighting UMM. I mainly enjoy fighting the apexes. For the 9 stars. I think they're the most fun to fight. That actually reminds me, Rat Halos is gonna be added to the 9-star tempered as well. And I believe that's coming with the GOG Matsuo's update. Speaking of Gogmazios, for anyone who, didn't see, GOG Matsuo's is gonna be released on December 16th. And they do require you be Hunter rank 100 or above for him. So I'm kind of thinking right. Maybe next week. If I have the energy next week. Maybe next week we'll go back to Monster Hunter Wilds. And do some prep work for Gogamacios. Text-to-speech keeps, spelling his name differently, and that's kind of funny. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking right now. Also the ping for text-to-speech is at 500. Okay, that was weird. I don't know how many of you guys are behind when it comes to Monster Hunter Wilds. But I do think it would be a good idea to do some prep work for Gogamacios. Every time it spells it differently. Let me see. Actually, I saw a bunch of posts on Twitter today about him. I do appreciate how they've been sprinkling out all the title update monsters. Like in the expansion from Monster Hunter World. You can fight all of the title update monsters. Like right after you finish the story. But big issue with that. Very big issue with that. Is. They are scaled to be done. Assuming you're at like master rank 100. Monster Hunter Rise also kind of had that issue. Particularly with I feel. God and Primordial Morbius. I feel like they are a little too tough if like you had just finished the story. I kind of feel like they should have been gated behind the, master rank requirements. Like all of the Risen Elder Dragons. I know it's a little annoying when things are gated off. Because you're not like the correct level for them. But I kind of feel like that's necessary. You know. Like for example. Yeah, it's because of that meme. Didn't know what else to call him. I like Dracula was too obvious. I don't think text-to-speech can even pick up Nosferatu. Oh, okay, just prove me wrong. Oh, there goes my connection again. Wait, no, it's fine. What was I going to search up? Right. Yeah, they should absolutely gate those things. Because like Gogmazios, right. He is going to be scaled to Hunter rank 100. What that personally tells me is they expect you to be rather seasoned, rather experienced with wilds, in order to properly take him on. Compared to Fatali's right. You can fight Fatalis as soon as you reach Master Rank 24. Which is not a good idea. He is not scaled for that. The game absolutely expects you to be like maybe Master Rank 150. You need to be like pretty experienced. And you also need to have defeated Alan already. Okay, right. I was going to look up something. Okay, even in. That is not the right thing. There it is. Found it. So in order to fight Abyssal Laggy right. This is Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. In order to fight him, you need to be Hunter rank 70. Now bear in mind, grinding for hunter ranks in the older games takes much longer. Compared to, Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter Rise, and even Monster Hunter Wilds. Compared to those three, you're not going to level up as fast. Just checking to make sure that I was right about that. Okay. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay, I was looking at the wiki page. And there was like... It was apparently like some Monster Hunter game called Monster Hunter Explorer. It released in Japan, in 2015. And in Canada. Wait, what? Excuse me. Canada. It didn't even last a month in Canada. It lasted like a week or two. Oh, it has a lot of monsters. Its version of Monster Hunter on Android and iOS. Wait, does this play like a normal Monster Hunter game? Oh my god, how many? How many Monster Hunter games have they released? Wait. There was a Monster Hunter card game. What? I've never heard about that. Wait. Was one of these the one with like a bunch of anime girls? Yeah, it is. I never knew there were so many Monster Hunter mobile games. God, there's actually a lot of Japan-exclusive Monster Hunter games. Like the list of stuff that they had is so much larger than what we've had. I don't know how many of you guys know this, but we never actually got Monster Hunter 2. And we never got a Monster Hunter Portable 3rd. Well, I guess here in the States. I think here in the States that would have been called Monster Hunter Freedom 3. Doesn't Monster Hunter sell? Hold on. Doesn't Monster Hunter have the best sales on handheld devices? I think so. I don't know numbers right. I do know that Monster Hunter was on handheld for a good bit. A lot of the most popular Monster Hunter games were actually on handheld devices. Like Monster Hunter Freedom. Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate was also on a handheld. I mean, you guys already know that. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. And a Monster Hunter Rise. There really is a ton you don't know about Monster Hunter. I think I asked this before, but I might as well ask it again. What games did you guys start with? I might as well close that page, I don't need it anymore. I expect the common answer to be Monster Hunter World. Which I understand. That was like the big one. That was the big one that had a lot of eyes on it. They did the big reveal trailer. That's also a common one I hear as well. Not nearly as common as like World or Freedom Unite. But I do hear that often. I've never played that version of Monster Hunter 3. I know it's very different from Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Like, if I recall. Actually, I can just look it up, but if I recall, a lot of the weapons were actually cut out. Could you imagine if, like, I bought a Nintendo Wii and Monster Hunter 3 just to see how different it is? I know they cut out a lot of weapons though. I don't know which one specifically. No, Ultimate came after Monster Hunter 3. They are. I mean, they might as well be very different games. That's right. Okay, I remember this though. The bow guns in the original Monster Hunter 3 were kind of just one weapon. That had a lot of customization. Like you could technically have a medium bow gun. I kind of feel like they should bring that back in some way. I think that would be really cool. Okay, let's see. Monster Hunter 3 is the first game in the series to remove previously seen weapon types. Bow, gun, lance, dual blades, and hunting horn are not available in this game. However, an entirely new weapon type can be unlocked by completing the 3-star village urgent quest. The switch axe is the new weapon. That sounds wacky. Like I said, I've never actually played this one. I don't know too much about it. Like okay. Take everything you guys have seen. Well, almost everything you guys have seen about Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Just remove the bear, the bunny, the armadillo, and the hammer guy. Also remove Kayamba. That's literally the entirety of the village in Monster Hunter 3, the original. No Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate has all of the weapon types up to that point. It kind of set the... Can I set the formula? For Monster Hunter, as far as I know. But I do know that, the online hub for Monster Hunter 3 was completely different. But yeah, Ultimate is the expanded version. It is the most feature-complete version. Oh yeah. For the West. Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate was the first game to feature the Thunder Puppy. Very first game in the West to feature him. He is one of the most popular monsters in the entire series. I kind of want to learn about all the games now. I know like very basic things about all the games, right? I know that. The original Monster Hunter Freedom was actually a port of Monster Hunter G. And is the closest we've ever gotten to getting that game. The original Monster Hunter. It was released internationally. But Monster Hunter, as far as I know, was only released in Asia. Oh wait. Yeah, it had 2 releases. It was released on the PlayStation 2 and later on the Nintendo Wii. I think the Nintendo Wii version was sort of like a tech demo for Monster Hunter 3. Let's Oh, that's weird. Apparently for the Nintendo Wii version, You basically had to buy a subscription. That's why would you do that? It's nothing really to know about it. Monster Hunter Freedom though, like again, I know that one. Was pretty much a port. He also doesn't have online multiplayer. That's interesting. Okay, this was also the game that started the The control scheme that if we would see in all the future Monster Hunter games. Because fun fact. Monster Hunter 1 and Monster Hunter 2. Ed, you attack with the analog stick. Yeah, I said it had you attack with the right analog stick. To control the camera you would use the D-pad. And all of the face buttons did nothing. As of March 2025, Monster Hunter Freedom has sold 1.3 million copies. It's actually pretty good. It's pretty good for a really old Monster Hunter game. For you guys, it's like 19 years old. Let's see. There isn't really much in terms of like what's changed between each game so far. Monster Hunter Freedom 2 sold 2.4 million copies. As of March 2025. Monster Hunter Freedom Unite 3.8 million. Like you can kind of see Monster Hunter getting steadily more popular. Oh, except Monster Hunter 3 that sold them 1.9 million. Monster Hunter Portable 3rd 4.9 million. Almost 5 million. Oh yeah, Monster Hunter Portable 3rd also got a port on PlayStation 3. I would assume there was like some saved data transfer stuff. Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate sold 2.6 million copies. And Monster Hunter 3 did not. So Patwell did it. That makes me a little sad because like, that was the one I started with. I do think it was the one that like started to really have notoriety in the West. Okay, Monster Hunter 4 sold 1 point. No, not 1. 4.1 million. I do know Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate was the first Monster Hunter game in the West to break 1 million copies sold. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate sold 4.2 million copies. Yeah, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate was very popular in the West if I recall. That's like when the series really started to break into the mainstream. Monster Hunter Generations, sold 4.3 million, that makes sense. Here's right off the heels of Monster Hunter 4 Can Ultimate 5 million. To be fair, Generations Ultimate in the West released after World, but in Japan it was before World. The release schedules for these games are kind of weird. Okay, now let's see. The big one. Monster Hunter World. This one has the most detailed page. Let's see. As of June 30th, 2024, the game has sold over 20 million copies and is considered Capcom's best-selling game of all time. It's genuinely crazy, like how much of an impact Monster Hunter World had. As of March, Monster Hunter Rise sold 17.1 million copies. And keep in mind, Monster Hunter Rise first released on one system only. And that was the, Nintendo Switch. It's actually the version I have. Yeah, it's massive. What about the expansions? Okay. As of March 2025, the expansion for Monster Hunter World has sold 15.2 million copies. You do have to consider how much of that would be, you know, people who have already bought a Monster Hunter World. If we were to just look at the numbers alone, that would mean 5 million people. Or 5 million copies didn't also upgrade to the expansion. Again, that's just looking at the numbers alone. The numbers don't always tell the full story. Okay, what about the expansion for Rise? It sold 10 million copies. So again, looking at the numbers alone, that would mean 7 million. We're just from Monster Hunter Rise alone. Okay, how is Wilds doing right now? Monster Wild is currently the fastest sold game in Capcom's history. Selling over 8 million units after the first 3 days of launch, beating Monster Hunter World by 3 million. 1.38 million users on Steam played the game on the second day of release, making it the highest concurrent count for any Capcom game, and the 5th highest for any game on Steam to date. By the end of March 2025, just 1 month after its initial release, the game had sold over 10 million copies. That is Genuinely amazing. That's genuinely amazing. Hunter Wilds was crazy on release. I just really wish they switched the PC version was better. I applied the PC version on launch and it was frustrating. It was frustrating to mess around with the settings. And apparently a lot of the settings didn't actually do anything. So the week afterwards. After the launch. I got the PlayStation 5 version and I've been playing on that ever since. The reason why I wanted to play it on PC was because I didn't want to, have the subscription for the online. But it kind of turns out I had to do that anyway. I also never got my money back for Wilds on PC. That actually makes me pretty upset. Like, I'm all for supporting the game. Because, yeah, I do think they deserve it. I do genuinely enjoy Monster Hunter Wilds. But I also could have put the money. I could have put that $70 towards, I don't know, Baldur's Gate 3 or something. Or, I could use it for Digimon Time Stranger. I wouldn't keep it for that long. I'm unfortunately a bit of an impulsive buyer. Yeah. That's the issue. The console version works fine. I am more than happy with the console version. But yeah, the PC version is just not that great. I do hope that the next update does address most of the issues. I really hope it does. I think Monster Hunter Rise had issues on PC as well, right? Didn't it? I want to say it did. Is there any info on? There's no info on any issues. You heard their planned focus on consoles and PC. I'm sorry, I heard their plan was to focus on consoles. And PC was their secondary target. PC has gotten a lot of popularity over the years. But so has, I don't think this is really an opinion because I think it's kind of just a fact. So has bad PC ports. I have actually looked into why there are so many broken PC ports. And before anyone says anything, yeah, I know. Developers should do a better job making games for PC. I think that's absolutely true. But at the same time, PC is kind of a nightmare to develop for. From what I've seen and from what I've heard. There was a guy on YouTube, I forget his name. But he is a game developer. And he did do a video talking about why games don't do that well on PC. Yes, Dark Souls. The PC version of that Prepare to Die edition was bad. To the point that you had to use a mod in order to have a stable experience. And they never fixed it until the remaster. So playing Dark Souls the original on PC was just awful. And even on console, as far as I recall, it also had issues. The console version of Dark Souls 1. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I never played on the original Dark Souls 1. The Light Town had a lot of frame drops. I said Blight Town. So yeah, Dark Souls 1 just had problems all around. But the PC version especially was bad. But yeah, from what the video said, if I ever find again, I'll link it in the Discord. But he said that consoles are much easier to develop for, because they are mostly consistent. There might be changes here and there, but for the most part, they are the exact same. So you can kind of just always work with that. But for PC, there are just so many. Different kinds of PCs, so many different builds, so many different parts that are communicating with each other. And also Windows 11. I work with Windows 11. And in my experience, it's not that different from Windows 10. And if you're wondering, yeah, I kinda have to work with Windows 11 in order to get a lot of stuff to work. Well, I don't know if it's that true anymore, but regardless at the time. And Windows 11 has so many useless things. It has so many useless things that you just don't need. And it just bloats the entire system. And I don't think that's in opinion or anything, I feel that's kind of fact. That said, Windows 11 does have its use. I'd say it. I had anything to complain about with gaming on PC. It's the fact that there isn't really any Any PC operating system that's focused entirely on gaming. And yes, I know Linux is a thing. And I know Steam OS is a thing. But Steam LS isn't available on PC right now. It's mainly for a handheld PCs. And from what I've seen for handheld PCs, it works very well. I also kind of wish sometimes PCs would just work. I have actually encountered issues with my PC before. For example, driver updates for my processor. If anyone's curious, I have the i7. The i7-13700F. And there was actually a point where I just couldn't update the drivers for it. Like if I would try, it would freeze midway. And if I do anything, like I can't stop it. I can't stop it from trying to download and update the drivers. And if I do a force shutdown, force restart or anything, it screws up the entire system. To the point that I had to go to a system restore point. So that way it would stop doing that. I never really figured out an issue. Or never figure out an issue, listen to me. I never figured out how to fix it. Until recently. My RGB lights on my PC started acting up. Like it wouldn't allow me to open the application to control them. Because the application that controls them is also the application that controls all the driver updates. So what I decided to do was just uninstall that and then reinstall it. Everything works fine. Everything works as it should. Everything is now super smooth, super great. How was I supposed to know that? How was I supposed to know that's what I was supposed to do in order to fix it? But yeah, that's kind of my own issue with PC gaming. I just wish it would work sometimes, you know. Like I can just turn it on and everything will work the way it's supposed to. And I'd also wish I wouldn't get like 5 million updates every day. Like, oh, you have to update your graphics card. You gotta go into the NVIDIA app to do that. Oh, you also need to update the drivers for your motherboard. You need to do it for the RGB lighting. You need to do it for your processor. And also you have to update Windows 11, which may or may not kill your system. Hey, I actually kind of hate it. I do wish PC was as smooth as console. Like, don't get me wrong, PC is great. Right. Upgrade to Linux. You'll need to update your own drivers. Or not write your own drivers. Honestly. Here's what I kind of want to do. I want to build a new PC, right? Specifically for gaming, and I want to use AMD. I am so tired of NVIDIA drivers. And the reason why I'm tired of them is because they're always very specific. They specifically target like M. Actually, I can just pull up the control panel. Okay, yeah. The latest driver was specifically for Call of Duty. Anno 117 Pax Romana. I've never heard of that one. A bunch of games I've actually never heard of. It's all very specific. And it can also just kill games that I already have. Like someday Final Fantasy 16 is not going to work anymore. And Monster Hunter Wilds is going to work even worse than it already does. From what I hear, actually. Monster Hunter Wilds works better on AMD hardware. That's what I hear, anyway. But yeah, I'm kinda sick of NVIDIA. Plus I don't want to buy their frankly overpriced graphics cards. Even pretty happy with your 5080 so far. How much does a 5080 go for? Oh, hello, Toby. How's it going? $1,000. Sometimes more. Are you kidding me? I'm doing alright. I am losing my mind at the prices of NVIDIA graphics cards. But what? What's the AMD equivalent? It's like the RX 9070, right? I don't know AMD as well, but I do want to switch to them. $600. You'd have to pay $600 for that. Yeah, if I build a new PC, I am switching to AMD. And I want to find a Linux distribution that focuses entirely on gaming. And probably what I do is like treat it like a console, right? I'll still keep my old PC. My current one, I should say. But use the new PC as a sort of console. So like, hook it up to my capture card. So that way that focuses entirely on the video games. And my current PC can focus on doing streaming video editing, you know, that sort of stuff. But that's in an ideal world where I have money. And if I wasn't, you know, an impulsive buyer. SteamOS works pretty well in that regard. Yeah, I'm waiting for it to I'm waiting for it to be like officially viable for PC. I've heard nothing but good things about SteamOS. Was the Fox saying I'm saying that PCs. I wish they would just work. If I build a new one, I'm using only AMD. And I would use either SteamOS or some other Linux distribution. Balloon, thank you. On that note, a little hungry right now. I will come back with snack. Do I not have the break text? Oh God, I don't, hold on. Okay, there we go. Now we have it right. I'll be right back. Your work is in the Microsoft ecosystem, so you need at least one Windows PC as long as you work there. I think having one Windows PC is fine. But for gaming, it's just awful, you know. Before anyone asks, I don't plan to do a goal for a new PC anytime soon. That's not in the cards for me right now. I did calculate how much a new PC would cost me. It's going to be a 1,500. Around there. Maybe even more. Oh, okay, anyone's curious. I got popcorn. I decided to change it up. It's just not going to happen anytime soon. I did look into building a new PC earlier this year. What would I actually want to do is make, what do you call it? It is. It's not micro PC, it's like mini PC. That there's a specific case I want for it. It's like the John's Bow 720. Not 720Z20. Here it might be better if I type it. John's Bow Z20. That's the case I actually want to get. Barely, because it's like very compact. Would not like. Not like to the point that you can't fit anything in there. It's very compact. It also has a carrying handle. So it's kind of ideal. For like, you know. Just like maybe taking it on the go, I guess. Like if I'm traveling somewhere. Or if I even want to play something. In the living room. It's apparently $100 for it. Well, I can technically get it for cheaper, but still. It's typically $99. But yeah, I would want to get that case. I'd want to get AMD parts. That would be an AMD CPU and AMD GPU. The motherboard. I don't know motherboards too well. These anyway. Now, I haven't really settled on what kind of cooling solution I want. I'm not talking about the Steam Deck at all. I'm not talking about a portable PC. I'm talking about a smaller desktop PC that also has a carrying handle. I essentially want. I'm basically saying I want to build a console. That's like my whole plan. That's what I would do if I build a new PC. Of course, I would want parts that are relatively better than what I have right now. That does sound like a plan. It does if it's a good plan or not. We'll I guess find out eventually if I do it. But yeah. Really? Not anytime soon. I don't feel comfortable asking you guys that much. Honestly, I didn't really feel comfortable. You know, doing the model goal. But at the same time, it was something I really wanted to do. Like I've had this model for 2 years now. And I've had this same setup or 2 years now, and I thought, you know what, it was about time for a change. And the moon. Before anyone asks, the model will be ready. Or, like when it'll be ready. I unfortunately can't say. I am not the one who is making the model. I do have to pay other people to make it. Which is why there was a goal to begin with. And I don't want to rush them or anything. So all I can say is that you guys will know when it's ready. The people working on the model, they should really take their time with it. I'm not gonna rush them. I'm not gonna give them a deadline or anything like that. Man, I was really hungry. I had breakfast. I guess that wasn't enough. Yes, soon. It'll come soon. I think something I can say. A lot of things are going to change once everything is ready. For example, these overlays. I've got to be honest, you guys. I've grown very tired of these overlays. There might just be like a part of my brain that requires things to change, you know. But I also think these overlays haven't really aged well. Yeah, everything you see on screen, that's obviously pixel art, was drawn by me. And it was the very first time I ever actually drew these overlays. And just like in general, making them. But I'll be honest, they're bad. Especially if you compare them to some of the other ones I made, like the Monster Hunter ones. But to be fair, the Monster Hunter, I had plenty of references to work with. But for my own original, Overlays, I kind of just had them wing it. And you know, at the time I thought it was great I managed to do the thing. But now I'm just kind of like, I really could have done better. What? I can do better now, but back then, you know, this was the best I could do. And that was like 2 years ago. So yeah, why all the people that I hired to work on the model have been doing that? I said while they're doing that, I've also been working on things myself. And before anyone asks, I won't be giving any sneak peeks. But you guys will get to see them once everything's ready. It's gonna be, a pretty massive change, actually. It's going to be a very different compared to everything you guys are used to. Well, not super different. But still. You know, it's actually kind of funny. I never really expected myself to get into pixel art. Like genuinely. The reason why I do pixel overlays. Pixel art overlays. Honestly, it's just because I love video games. And I just love pixel art. I think it's really cool and I especially love about how not what I said. Text to speech. I especially love Valhalla. The game that we streamed. I think around this time last year, right? It was a while ago, but that's a game I genuinely love. And it is what inspired my overall visual style. But yeah, I just love video games. And that's why everything is pixels. I just never really thought I would really get into drawing them. That reminds me, about commissions. Because I said that like, you know, eventually I would like to do them. I think what's really kept me from doing that I kind of just don't feel like. I don't feel like I'm there yet, you know. This is the entire personal thing. I know some people might go, what, I would totally pay you for your art and whatever. But how do I put it? I want to have confidence in what I'm doing. And what I'm selling before I offer it. Whatever. Text to speech. Close enough. Is my internet dying again? Okay. Is the new model gonna be pixel art too? No. I'm not that good. I don't think I can draw. I don't think I can draw like a full body thing. Not right now, anyway. Making a model is very different. I don't think I've seen anyone with a pixel art model. I could like make a PNG. But that's its own thing, you know. You don't see legs. I don't. I don't normally show my legs. You guys don't need to see them, you just need the fluffy ears. That's all you guys need. But fluffy tail. That's a good point, however. I don't have an argument for that. I am looking forward to the new model though. I don't know. I don't really think it was time for a change. Like I said before, we've had everything here for 2 years now. It was just that time. He said leg, not legs. No, you wrote legs, but it's fine. You meant lag. Right. There was something I forgot to mention. Looping back to Monster Hunter. Okay. So. We are going to have to spend a few streams probably. Preparing. For Gagamejos. I swear it changes the name every time. We need fire weapons. And we also need dragon weapons. To fight him. We are also getting the ability to raise the upgrade cap for Rarity 5 and Rarity 6 armor. And also like level up the decorations for them. And just in general like improving the build variety. And we're also getting more armor spheres. They're going to increase the rate at which armor spheres drop. It's not that way. Leveling armor isn't as much of a pain. I'm very excited about the, raising the upgrade cap thing though. I think that's a massive positive change. Really helps with build variety as well. Since there are there's several monsters that have really cool armor set bonuses. But the problem is they're tied to lower rarity armor. And the stat-wise and in terms of decorations, the higher rarity armor sets are better. But with the update, I really hope that increases build variety. I would kinda like to see what would happen if you combine Guardian Rat Halos and Laggy using the Milk Dragon weapons. Because then you're getting a bunch of extra damage on top of barely regular intervals from what I've seen. I said fairly regular. I think that would be really cool. That change is also only coming to Rarity 5 and Rarity 6. Hello, text-to-speech. Did you read the thing? Okay. Thank you. Rarity 7, Rarity 8 aren't getting that. They are just going to be same old. Alright, we've been going for almost 2 hours now, so we might wrap up in a bit. So yeah, there might be a wild streams again. Trying to prepare for the big dragon that's coming up. I really hope the fight is good. I would be very happy if. I'll be honest, if it turns out the fight is good and it turns out that this is gonna be the final update for Base Wilds. I think I would be very happy with that. I think I would be satisfied. I think the updates have been very good for Wilds and just like improving a game that and I really needed a better end game. I like all the new monsters that they brought in. I am very happy with having Laggy back. He's my absolute favorite. Omega has been. I mean, apart from the SOS, things. It has been some of the most fun I've had in Wilds. And gave me a build that I just really enjoy. So I really hope GOG Matsuo's is just as good. I do think the game has genuinely gotten better with every update. In terms of like content, right? I know the PC version, it's kind of touch and go. Like sometimes it works, sometimes it just doesn't. But yeah, I am. I'm happy. And if the game gets an expansion, I think it really has the potential to be the best Monster Hunter. This also might sound weird for me to say, but I also kind of hope it's not harder. Because, you know, so many people want there to be more of a challenge. By virtue of it being master rank, it's going to be harder. But I just hope they don't go overboard with it. That's really just how I feel. I don't think difficulty was ever really the main focus of Monster Hunter. I think it's always been focused on just being a cooperative game. I think that's what it's always been at the end of the day, just a co-op game. I genuinely love Monster Hunter and I pretty much always look forward to everything they do because it's more Monster Hunter. Like you just can't go wrong with Monster Hunter in general. Yeah, I know Monster Hunter 2 exists, and Monster Hunter 2 is notoriously difficult. And does a lot of things that just makes it suffering. But it's Monster Hunter at the end of the day, and I'll probably still enjoy myself somehow if I were to play it. I don't know if that sounds like blind loyalty or something, but I just like Monster Hunter. I just like it and I always have such a fun time playing all the games. Those are just my feelings on Monster Hunter as a series. Yeah, I really hope Wilds. I really hope it can. Reach the same heights as some of my favorite games. In some ways it already has. Like Wilds is the game that I have really experimented the most. Alright, enough of that. I'm going to let you all go. I think I have yapped enough today, but tomorrow morning we will be continuing Final Fantasy X. We're getting close to the end. I did actually check how much farther we have. And there's not a lot of main story stuff left. There is, however. A lot of side content. Like hours upon hours of side content, but I don't think we have that much time. Still, I'll see you all tomorrow. And as always, stay foxy. Alright, goodbye everybody, have a good day. Goodbye, nobody. Goodbye, Iffy. Goodbye, Mr. Fondue. Goodbye. Goodbye Free Comet. I'll see everyone tomorrow.